Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is GBPAUD Tips. It is Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. It's 1:20 p.m. I'm coming from Tangal, Sri Lanka, and I wanted to go over some market updates. We're almost done with the trading week, and it is a major trading day. It's Thursday. A lot of high volatility news is coming up, and I just wanted to highlight the fundamentals first before I get into the actual technicals, just so we can see what's coming. So there's a lot of red folder euro news in about 8 minutes, as you guys can see, and also GBP news. We're not really focused on GBP because we're not trading GBP at the moment, but for those of you that are, just be aware, stay up, and check those out. There's CAD news in 4 hours, and then there's also USD news in 4 hours, 38 minutes. So we're going to focus on a couple things. At the moment, there's a bunch of red folders, so let's just get straight into it. Euro USD. I'll explain what I did yesterday and go from a macro point of view all the way down to the micro. Right now, as we can see, I got out of most of my sell orders from yesterday's video. If you guys can go back to the previous video on my breakdown of Euro USD, you can see that my analysis, at the time I was kind of higher up. I had some sell orders and I did short it. I did come out at the lows, the current lows of 1.68, around that area. And I do project the price to pull back, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now is the reaction from the most recent drawdown. And so on a 4-hour time frame, we are trending down, as we can see right here, a series of lower highs and lower lows, and we're at the end of that uptrend. So I do suspect this to break and to continue on downwards, which is why I have limit orders and stop orders split up. I do like to scale in and scale out of my trades, and I highly recommend position sizing for anyone that is actually trading the FX market. When I first started trading, I actually had some issues with scaling in and out. So I would actually put one big position size, and then sometimes it might go against me, and then I'm sitting there in fear because I don't know if it's going to hit my stop out. And nowadays, if you do split your orders up, if worst case scenario, price does go against you for some reason, you got your analysis wrong or something, or you might have gotten in a little too early or late, it's a great way for you to actually look forward to adding to your positions as the market goes in your favor. But let's get down to it. Like I said, in about 8 minutes, there is going to be high volatility news, and I would like to catch this on this video. I don't plan on having this video be any longer than 15 minutes long. I will try to cover every pair that I went over yesterday. I had Euro USD, I had GBPAUD, I had Euro GBP, and I had USDCHF. So let's get into it. I drew a Fibonacci retracement. I'll actually delete it, and I'll redraw it. So from the most recent swing, which is A to B, if you guys are familiar with Elliott wave, we can see that price currently is rejecting that 0.618 zone, which is also the 1.17280 zone. And that is what I'm looking at right now. If it can hold on this 4-hour time frame, we can't expect price to go down. Also, if it does breach these lows and close below here, we can't expect price to continue on down towards the first key level, macro level of support. As we can see when we zoom out to the daily chart, that would be around 1.16105, and that it will be my weekly target. Now let's see, that's about 80, 90, 100 pips away from current price. Now, if it does say there's really bad news for Europe, we could see it actually melt down even further towards 1.49, 1.50, which is where I have my monthly target set at. And at the moment, let's just focus on the weekly targets, which is about 100 more pips away. And let's see what we can do on the micro scale. So going to the hourly, we can see that there was a big bearish candle of about, what was it, 60, 70 pips to the downside yesterday. That was kind of towards the end of the market day. And this hourly right here is going to be a big rejection candle. If we could see a close on this hourly below preferably 1700, then we can definitely confirm that price would be going down for the remainder of the day. Now, you have to be patient and wait for that hourly to close. But me, I also am going into the 15-minute time frame because I'm actually more skilled in that. And as I can see, price did go in for that retest around 17,200, and it doesn't necessarily always have to hit the 0.618, but that's kind of what I was aiming for. And as we can see, it's not hitting that 0.618 particularly just yet. We do have some bearish candlestick patterns, which is signaling that price is going to continue to breach that low and continue to go down. So if I were to put an order down, I would actually put an order slightly below 1700, as you guys can see right here, because if it does reject that, we're looking at a weakening of this trend towards the downside. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set an alert just to look out for that. And this order right above, I'm actually going to place it higher because I do believe that price will close below there. And I don't want to miss the trade if it does go in my favor and have a strong drive, about 20, 30 pips to the downside. Now, that's all I'm looking for right now in Euro USD. If it does continue to breach the 0.618, I do have a potential another sell limit above, but I'm going to actually move that sell limit a little lower just because it's a little too high up. And then this one is on the macro, on the higher point of view. If it does breach this and these highs, yesterday's highs, it will possibly, more than likely, continue on up. If it does continue on up, I would like to capture that trade. Now, this also is a little too high. So what I would do is I'll just move this slightly below just so it can actually capture that trade as well. And once again, let's just draw the Fibonacci retracement just so we can see exactly where that could possibly go. And there's another 0.618 right above. So moving the stops back to where they were, you can see that I'm not really risking too much. And that's pretty much the technical breakdown on Euro USD for the day. I do not see it going past 1.1785, 1.1800. I don't see it going past that today. That, would definitely change the narrative for the week if it does. At the moment, let's just wait and see. I'll get back to Euro USD in a moment. I want to go over GBPAUD to see what happened. Yesterday into today, it actually did spike above. It hit some lows, and as we can see, it is testing those September 13th support. And this is a major key level area of support. If we can look at the Elliott wave, we can see A to B, B to C, C to D. That was a completed wave right there. Now we're seeing a pullback, A to B, B to C, C to D, and I don't suspect price to go down anywhere below there. So this previous buy limit order, I'm actually going to have to move it up at this moment, and I will tighten the stops because it is within a range. And as I said, this was the support or the resistance that became support that recently got retested. As we can see, it got retested on September 21st, which was a couple days ago. It bounced off, and then it went slightly back towards that area, breached it, and it rejected that again. So below this wick, we could actually look for a stop loss. If it does get below that wick, we should suspect price to continue on down towards 1853. So this previous buy limit order, like I said, it's time to move it, and that's what I'm going to do on the micro scale. So now looking at this, I am going to just do my typical Fibonacci. That's just what I like to use is a Fibonacci retracement. Go to A to B. You can see the 0.618 is currently being tested. Just give it another hour or two, and we should see a clear signal towards either the upside, which will continue on up towards structure highs of 1893, or if it does kind of continue the decline, it should reach these lows and go on towards, got to see it on the macro scale, but go on towards the trend lows, which is around 1853. So it's going to be a major day for GBPAUD, and we just have to wait and see. I go down to the 15 minutes just so I can get a little bit more detail. And at the moment, I can't really see too much going on with GBPAUD on the 15 minute. It just looks like it's going to have to give it about 45 minutes to an hour or so, maybe longer, to just check that out and see. But once again, if it does confirm some sort of candlestick signal above, I would say 18,410, then we can definitely look for a potential bull rally. Now, where would I move this pair, or this right here? I'm definitely going to move it in this video so you guys can see live what I would do. Technically, it would be right here. You guys see this is a very bullish candlestick, and I don't necessarily see price going down below there. So what I'm actually going to do as well is move my stop to a higher point. So that's as much as I'm risking right now. I will come back to this pair shortly. Let me see how much time I endured. All right, 11 minutes in this video. I'm actually going to go over my next two pairs right now for you all so you can see. This is USDCHF. This is the update from this pair from yesterday. And as we can see, price is definitely on a bull run. It's retesting this previous major hour bullish candlestick that happened yesterday. And I do suspect it to continue on up. Right now, it's just testing the retest. There was a recent bullish candlestick right from the 0.618, which is confirming that it should continue on upwards. Now, let's clear the chart up so we can see. And let me just go for the macro scale so we can see a little bit better. The 4 hour actually did knock out that downtrend that was short-lived yesterday. And then there was another downtrend at the end of last week, which it also invalidated. So at the moment, I am very bullish on USDCHF. And if I were to place a stop, it would be a few pips below this bullish engulfing candle right here, about 92,115. And that's probably where I would be looking to exit based on price action. But at the moment, I will leave my orders as they are just because I like to widen the stops and in case anything really happens. So do suspect USDCHF to break the highs of 92.9, 93 and continue on upwards. I would say first TP zone would be about 93.225, and then the second TP zone would be right below 0.944, and that is what we're waiting on. It's approximately 178 pips away from TP2, and then TP1 is about 70 pips away. I don't know if it'll reach as high as TP2 this week, so just keep an eye open for it. Friday is coming, so it may just end up reaching TP1 at the end of this week. Now, finally, let's go into Eurgbp, which I also went over. I did explain yesterday that price was actually kind of high up and that I was going to reduce my lot size on that, in which I did. And we can see price actually did tap around the highs of that previous bear trend, and that would be a TP zone. After that, it kind of consolidated. It retested the support, which is now kind of acting as resistance. I do foresee price to go down further towards the downside on Eurgbp, unfortunately, and hitting around the mid-range zone of this current bull trend. And that's where I actually have a limit order placed because I split up my order and I do suspect it to go down there and before there's a next congestion area. So once it does reach around 0.854, we could definitely see a potential rally back towards the upside. That would give us a solid 60 to 70 pips to end the week. And it is the end of the week, so we could kind of see something like it breaks these highs and goes up towards, I would say, the next level of resistance, which is around 0.863, and that's about 56 pips away before giving some sort of congestion. If it does break even further up above, and it has to have a break and close on the 4-hour above 0.867, then we could see a continuation towards the upside. That's about 100 pips away towards upside at, and also we're looking at a break above here. So technically speaking, between there and there, that's about a 60 pip range. So we would definitely like to take profit around here. Just wait for price action, see what it does in that 60 pip range. And if we can get a solid close above 0.874, 0.875-ish, then we could definitely see a rise and a rally about another 100 and plus pips towards the next resistance area around 0.886. Now, at the moment, we just have to wait. Euro GBP, like I said, I'm already in my order, so I'm not going to close out in a loss just because it's going against me, because that's not where my hard stop is at. That's just me reading price action and already foreseeing where it's going to go. It doesn't make sense for me to close out in a loss where it could actually potentially rally up from here. What it could possibly do is that you see how it did close down. This is a counter move. This is not an actual trend move. So counter trend moves are short-lived, and we could see price actually rallying towards the upside from here, especially after the euro news that should have already been released. We could see a rally from here. This could be the congestion area where we could see a current level of support being made, and at that point we could see a potential pull towards the upside from here. But like I said, according to everything I've seen and everything I can read from right now, it does look like it will continue on down. Let's just look at the news real quick to see what happened. Here's Euro GBPAUD. Like I said, if there's no potential area, then we're going to be looking at a stop loss around here, and we're going to be looking at a limit order. Now, that limit order, if it does get triggered, that's just obvious signs of a risk averse trade. So I'm not really basing it off of candlestick price action, but more or less about the macro structure and the market geometrics. And if that does taper that area, I do still suspect it to go up because my fundamental bias on the macro scale is bullish. So let's just wait, see what happens. I do suspect maybe it's going to tap into the 0.618, maybe go a little bit lower, and then start to rise and take out weekly highs and monthly highs towards upside. And there's some stops above here that recently got breached. There's plenty of stops up here, which is basically long-term swing traders that went short and might just be caught up in the wrong direction. So let's just wait and see. Lastly, let's see the Euro news. Actually came out worse than expected. So like I said, Euro GBP does look like it's going to continue going down based on the economics, and Euro USD will definitely drive down. So here we go. We see spikes. In this video, I actually want to do a trade live for you guys. The hourly, there's a nice wick right there with a doji candle, and on the 15-minute, we could definitely see what we call this an evening star that was formed. So I would definitely like to take this trade, just a slight, maybe a 0.4, just because it is, like I said, it is high impact news for Euro, and it did come out bearish, more dovish than expected. So this normally happens. We see the candlestick formation pop up, and then we see price try to go against it. That's completely normal. This is opportunity to hop in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a 0.40 right now with a stop loss of approximately on this. Put the stop loss about 77 pips away, as you can see right there. And this is on a 15-minute. I don't see it going higher than this. And if it does, we can see that there is potential resistance above. That is where we would have to actually wait and see price react towards that resistance before either confirming it's going to go down or if it's going to go up further. So my real stop losses are above. That's what I call a hard stop based on the macro structure. But on the micro scale, based off of intraday stops, I would place it around right below 1800, as we can see. So at this moment, let's see where I would take it profit-wise. I would take it down. I would like to take it down as far as I can because I don't really see this support holding up much longer. So I'll actually take it down towards these lows, about 78 pips away. That would be my TP, giving me a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio. I hope that makes sense. And we all can just wait and see, sit on the sidelines, and follow up with you guys tomorrow.